Hi, everyone. Welcome to
Episode 4 of Life Be Life
the podcast. So excited to be doing this today. We are on episode 4. Just a quick back talk. Wait, can I introduce it now?
Do your intro.
No, not the intro. But basically, we have tried to record this episode twice, and we've had mic issues. And actually, we recorded it yesterday, this exact episode of which, of course, is going to be different now. But we recorded this yesterday, and it was such a great episode. But one mic was not working, which was trash. But anyway, we are here. Tested all the mics. Check 1, 2.
Glad you can hear us.
Yeah, right, Jeff? All right, he's in there.
Jeff,
perfect.
Jeff.
I'm glad you ain't call me out, though. I'm glad you ain't call me out.
So
But I'm glad you called yourself out.
But anyway, all right, let's do a quick intro for our guest today, Jeff. So come on. Give us the intro. And I need you to give the intro right, okay? We're talking about V.
Today we have the
Sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Okay.
To me, it's the because it's the. That's only one Jeff Lubin. So we got our producer, Sir Jeff Lubin.
What up?
What's up? All right, so just a quick intro for Jeff. Jeff is my neighbor, but Jeff is a young cat, but very talented, and also has a lot going on for someone his age. And I think that's what kind of like drew us closer, because we kind of talk about work and stuff. But he's so driven that his energy just pours into anyone that he sees. Like, he's the one who made us start this podcast. He's the one that made me get back into YouTube. He's the one that makes me think of so many things like, yo, what next, Mo? You cannot just be relaxing. You got to do something else. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, because you got a lot of titles.
I do.
So tell us what you do, and tell us a little bit about you.
I'm in many things. Entrepreneur.
Boom.
Video producer.
Boom.
I have a media company now.
Yep, the Lubin Media.
Yeah, yes.
Check it out online.
Congratulations on that.
LubinMedia.com.
So I got a lot of different things. I think.
You're missing some others.
Oh, YouTuber.
Yep.
Content creator.
Yep.
Just a guy.
Investor.
You do voiceovers.
Crypto
too.
investor.
I do.
You do voiceovers.
Crypto
too.
investor.
Crypto investor. Yes.
Angel investor.
Angel investor. Yes.
Yo,
yes,
bro,
yes.
this guy got a lot going on for
on.
someone his age. Like, he is popping. He's not even 30 yet. So can you imagine? When I was his age, I was in the streets, like turning up, not even thinking about like all of this. So just being with Jeff just makes me always feel like, damn, I need to do more. Like, very inspiring.
I mean,
Jeff
kinds of push. He doesn't kind of. He actually pushes you, because he gives you, that talk and do that
I am, right?
He's literally talk and do, because we were just venting here, talking about how life be lifing, and next thing we knew it, Jeff set up podcast.
He's like, let's do a podcast.
He set up the mics.
He brought the whole.
We were still dragging our feet, and Jeff was literally here every day. When you ready to record?
No, he did it the same day. What are you talking about?
No, we didn't do it the same day.
We did.
We didn't record the
same day.
No, we did not.
100% it was the same day.
We went to Wild the first day and came back and did not end up recording.
No, that was the second episode.
Oh, that was the second episode.
That was
The first episode. The first
Yeah.
time we
the
recorded,
second
Jeff
episode.
was here. We're all talking about life be lifing.
That was the second
And he's like,
episode.
"Oh, you guys should be in a you guys should do a podcast." And we were like, "Yeah, we'll call it Life be Lifing." Da da da. And he was like, "Bet." Went upstairs, brought his camera, bought mics, brought everything, set up this setup, and boom.
We
We recorded our first episode. That's exactly
that
how
was
it
the first
happened.
episode. That was.
And then we were like,
first
are we going to do
episode.
another one? And then we went to Wild and had
Yeah,
conversations about the other ones. So, yeah. And then we recorded the second one the next day. No, after Wild. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one was when we had Papa.
Yep. So,
Yeah.
Jeff is the guy. Like,
Jeff is Jeff.
well, I don't share my friends. So, just kidding. But, yeah, Jeff, it's really nice to have you here today.
Happy
so,
to be here.
Yeah. And I'm excited because the topic for today is about anxiety and dealing with anxiety, whether at a young age or an older age, and like how anxiety really like makes life be lifing, right?
Yeah.
And of course that leads to a lot of things too, because we're going to touch on traumas, we're going to touch on what exactly really builds that anxiety, and as we go, of course, different conversations, kind of the conversation goes to different directions. But this is going to be a fun episode, so let's get into it. So Doopsy, what's up?
Yeah, before we kick off, Jeff, can you share a little bit? I know you've spoken about all the amazing things that you've been doing. Can you tell us a little bit about how you started and you got into that journey? Even as a YouTube creator, as a content creator, how has that affected anything? I
guess like being young, right? Like what gave you that drive to want to do more, and talk on that. That would be a good one, actually.
I think it all came from COVID. I think with COVID, when everybody was in the house, everybody was trying to figure out what they got to do. And for me, it was my time to really log in and just figure out what I want to do in my life.
Were you in college or after college?
I was in college.
Okay.
I was in college. So it was my junior year. I was playing football at the time, but at the time they gave us the opportunity to opt out of college. Not college, but opt out of playing football. Yeah. So I opted out and I
played football?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
See this chest?
I did not know that.
He a little buff, but under the meat.
Houston 15. He gained the Houston 15.
Everyone gained Houston.
I might have gained Houston 5.
Okay. Maybe you're gonna lose 10. But
so during college I opted out, and at the time I was just trying to figure out what I was gonna do in my life. Cause I wanted to go to the NFL for a long period of time, but it's just it's not for me, right? So that's when I really started watching YouTube videos and just watching content in general, and I found about real estate. So I was watching HGTV and those shows talking about $1 million listings, and I wanted to be a real estate agent.
Yeah.
But
yep.
I was looking at the homes in my area and homes I see on TV, and it wasn't really adding up. It wasn't adding up. The homes you see on TV, $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
Yep.
You see commissions, 30,000, 40,000,
300,000. When I watch Selling Sunset, I'm always like, I think I went in the wrong career, man. Like one house, 300K.
It's not that glamorous.
What am I doing sitting on a desk? That's crazy. But yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me look at the homes in my area. 30,000. Like the selling
Commission?
price. No, selling price.
Ooh.
Selling price.
The selling price.
30,000?
40. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Akron, Ohio, 30,000 for a house. You can get 50,000 for a house easily.
Wow.
Yeah, but it ain't gonna be where you want to live.
Bungalow or?
So bungalow style. It can be a two-story. It can be a duplex. You can find a duplex in Cleveland, Ohio for maybe $50,000.
Wow.
But it's gonna be in the hood though, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
So you can find a place in a relatively good area. The thing about Ohio though, the rents are going to be amazing. So the houses are going to be cheap, but the rents are amazing. So you'll probably pay $50,000 rents. You can probably get $1,000 for rent every single month. So the margins are good, but the area's not good as far as appreciation. It's not going to be there.
It's not gonna go from 50K to 300.
No.
Right?
You're going to have the cash flow though. You're going to have the cash flow for sure. If you want to get cash flow, Ohio is definitely a great place. And there's certain areas of Ohio.
Why did I live in New York again?
New York is
why?
Your family's there. First of all, your family is there.
I should have been in Ohio.
First of all, your family is there.
I would have owned 20 houses.
I mean, Kentucky, Onita was pushing it. Not even say you want to live in Ohio.
I don't think you will be able to survive in Ohio.
I don't think so either. I'm a city girl.
Yeah. Ohio's nah. I know you.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna refer to our failed episode yesterday. You had mentioned that you had shut yourself out for 6 months from your family and everybody. So obviously that 6 months you went through a lot of growth, right?
I went through a lot of different stuff during that time.
I mean,
I guess what made you do that? Why did you take us through that journey? What made you ghost for 6 months, and then what was happening then?
I was pouring too much into other people, and I was letting other people's life situation affect my life too. So when other people come
family,
to me,
or is this more just friends?
Everybody. So people was coming to me about their problems, thinking I had everything figured out, and wanted me to give them advice on certain situations. But that wasn't my life at the time. I'm giving you advice, but I'm still going through it. So I know a lot of the times people rely on their strong friends, but
you life is life for me too.
I can't deal with everybody's problems.
Yeah. But I mean, within that 6 months, you must have had expectations as how you wanted that want the outcome to be, in terms of when you were creating content, you wanted to have 1,000 followers, or you wanted to have get a certain amount of impressions. You had your metrics that you were following,
So
right?
in that 6 months, I was just focused on just learning. I wasn't really focused on creating content. I wasn't focused on anything else but just being with myself and just understanding myself a little bit more. Because that was my first time of just being alone. I just didn't even know how to navigate being alone in my own space.
In solitude.
Yeah. And that 6 months is going to be the toughest time I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Because you have nobody to talk to but yourself, and you're your biggest critic. So you're telling yourself certain things. You're trying to go through certain things by yourself. It's just like, I think everybody should go through it, because if you have a solid year or 6 months, 8 months, 2 years, whatever it is, of you're focusing on nobody but yourself, who knows what can happen?
You're right.
Facts.
Who knows what can happen?
You are right.
So I needed that time, and I mean I still go through it now as far as just being by myself and just not pointing to anybody's cup while mine's still not filled. It may take me 3 years to have my cup filled. Who knows? But I value my time a lot more now, and I've just valued this fact that I'm able to isolate myself and just be myself.
It's crazy. I'm reading a book. Duke read the book first, but basically
We are reading
about.
the book together. I'm not doing.
Oh, you're not done? Oh, okay. But I got it from Target, and it's about like I guess
loving
like
yourself.
yeah, but it's more than that. But the first chapter, anyways, about like how to love yourself in solitude, right?
Yeah.
Difference between loneliness and solitude, and it's
Totally
literally
different.
like a mindset, right? Loneliness is thinking you need people in that moment of silence where you're by yourself. But then solitude is you saying, you know what, in this moment of being by myself, I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to make myself a nice meal. Like, so it's like a mindset thing. And I never realized it, because I used to call Dupe, like sometimes I'll be home by myself. I have nothing to do on a Friday night. I'm like, I'm lonely. I don't know what to do. I'm like, damn. She's like, call this person. I'm like, no. And then, when I was reading the book, I was like, wow, that's actually, it's all in my mind.
All in
Like,
mind.
Yeah.
I'm here thinking, oh, I'm all by myself. But in reality, I should take that moment of solitude and look for opportunities to grow within that, learn about myself, love myself, spend a lot of time by myself.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes, but I never looked at it as solitude. Like me, I have moments where I just go run a hot bath. I put like lavender and hemp in there, nice bubble bath. Sometimes I'll make like a nice meal, but I've noticed of recent I actually stopped doing those things, and I guess that's where my mindset changed to like, oh, I need people around, versus just being by myself and enjoying those moments. So solitude is really a good place to be, but you have to be in the right mindset to like put yourself to enjoy that moment, or grow in that moment.
And you got to get used to it too.
Yeah.
You got to get used to being by yourself, and then when you're by yourself for a long period of time, you got to get used to interacting with people again.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when I came out here, like I didn't know what I liked when I came out here.
Oh, I made Jeff become my friend. Oh, he tried to run. I was
Tell
like, no.
Tell us the story. How did that go?
So how did we meet, Jeff?
Yeah.
Funny enough, we met randomly downstairs.
Downstairs,
I think he had just moved in. I moved in a few months ago, and then he was just like, oh, what are the nice things around, to do? And then we mentioned a few, and then I'll see him like in in our social area somewhere, just kind of just walking. We'll say hi, blah, blah, blah. And then I think when we really connected was at the gym.
Yeah.
They were having like a social event, and we were like, we just started talking, and then he said he does YouTube. I do YouTube. So we kind of connected on that.
On the YouTube,
And it's funny because my YouTube at that time, I was just like, oh, I'm tired. I'm focusing on work. I don't feel like, because editing takes forever. Like I would spend maybe 2-3 hours recording, 4 to 6 hours editing.
Wow.
And then you have to publish, you have to, all that stuff. So it just took a long time. So I was just like, I'm really busy with work. I don't have time for this now. Even though YouTube does give great income, so, but then I was ready to let it go. And then Jeff is like, no.
I mean, with all the subscribers you got.
He's, right? And he's, one thing I love about Jeff is that Jeff is also a very giving person. Like when I started the YouTube, he would tell me, he was like, oh, you know what? Record one video a week and I would edit it for you. Not him. He had like an editor. So he's like, I'll give my editor to edit it for you. And I thought, in my mind, I'm like, damn, no payment. And then, and he did the first one, he did the second one, and I was just like, wow, this guy's nice. And I think I was like, how much? And then he's like, okay, fine, 200. And I was
I
like,
mean, everybody needs.
and
a
then
Jeff
I was
in
like,
their
no,
corner.
Jeff, 100. You know me, I gotta negotiate. I was like, I ain't getting no income right now. Okay, let's reduce this.
Yeah.
So, but one thing about Jeff is he was just really nice enough to like do it without, just to get me back on my feet, like get me into the groove of things. And then I've noticed Jeff is like that. He will help you and then let you fly. Like he'll be like, I've done 3 bar. Go figure
I'm gonna
the
let you fly for sure.
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
gonna
I
let
mean,
you
that's
fly.
He did
that's
the
an
same
awesome
thing.
dad trait. I mean,
he
that's
did
an
the
awesome
same thing
dad
with our
trait.
podcast. He
an
recorded
awesome-
he recorded
This
the
is
first 3 episodes. I was like, bye.
All
I
right,
came
y'all.
yesterday. He
Y'all
was
got,
like,
he's like, y'all got it now, but yeah, but you're an amazing person. I don't know if I've ever told you that before, but you know, it's
Thank you
nice.
for that.
It's good to just be around kind people, because you
Yeah.
don't really see that much of, you know, you don't see that many kind people in the world. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about YouTube. Let's talk.
Before I say that though, I want to say I was so happy when I met you and we talked about YouTube, because I didn't meet nobody
Here.
who did YouTube content.
True.
So he's like, I
Really?
did YouTube. I'm like, oh, we gotta go crazy.
You could share notes.
We about to
We
go crazy.
did.
And we did though. We masterminded.
I think the first time we hung out, like after the gym, we hung out for like 3 hours
Yeah.
just brainstorming
Brainstorming.
about YouTube.
Oh,
Like he
wow.
literally came to sit next to me in my office. Like, okay, sign out of work. Now let's
Oh,
brainstorm
wow.
about your next 3 videos that your content you're going to create.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, and then you did the same thing.
Yep.
Like we did a lot. Like, yeah, we both
going
started
back and forth.
businesses.
Yeah.
Like we both started businesses. Like while we're in this, it's crazy. I did Lunch for Growth.
Both, yeah.
He did Lubin Media. He did some other businesses. Like, listen.
I mean, you just launched one, Lubin Productions, right?
Yeah, Lubin Media.
Lubin Media.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
One thing I love is that like the chemistry between me and him when it comes to like just brainstorming our work, we're very similar. Like talk and do. Now we are the talk and do.
Yeah.
I'm talk and do. He's talk and get it done.
So let's talk about execution. I mean, while you're executing, execution be executioning.
I like that.
And you don't always go how you plan, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've gone through it the past couple of episodes, right? How is that? Like, how do you like tackle that, obviously, and like face that reality?
So for me, I like to think of it like this. I want to reduce my gap from the idea to execution as quick as possible, because I want to see if it fails or not.
Okay.
You're not gonna know, because you're gonna most likely overthink the situation 1,000%.
Yep.
Overthinker.
So the quicker you are with just executing, just getting it done, you go, okay, do I like it or not? Nah, this ain't it. So
It ain't for me.
yeah. But you gotta try it first.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's always, for me, it lingers in my head for too long, and I hate that feeling. And I'm just like, you know what? Just do it. Do it. Like you said, see if you like it. If you don't like it, you keep it moving.
Yeah.
But you would never know unless you do it. And anxiety
know.
does kick in, but I think for me, that action of doing it eliminates anxiety. And I think that kind of segues into like the mindset of anxiety, right? Like, even though I am an overthinker, but my overthinking is never really through anxiety. It's more of like, I guess my overthinking is usually more of like the process. Okay, what do I need to do to make sure I get it right? You know, I need to do this, have this, do that. Next thing you know, I'm buying the whole equipment. I'll be Jeff
Yep.
knows. I buy everything. It's like podcast. Okay, 2 mics.
Tell
I
me why
got
you got
this.
this apartment.
What?
Tell me why you got this apartment.
So, but like that's how my overthinking is usually more of like, I want to make sure the execution works, right? But anxiety, I think, is usually like, oh, should I put it out? Like, I'm nerd. Like when you do a YouTube, just taking it back to YouTube anyway. I remember when I hear people talk about like, oh, their first uploads, they're like, oh, they recorded like 20 but never uploaded it.
Oh, wow.
That was never me. Like me, I recorded it and I was just like, you know what? There goes nothing.
Yeah.
Upload. Like I think I've gotten to a place in my mind where I don't really let outside voices affect me at all. So one thing I've noticed from talking to other people is that usually they say like, oh, you know, what will people think? That's like the number one thing that causes anxiety, the fear of what others think. If you think about it, what would others say? What would others think? What would others, oh, they'll think I messed up. They'll think I didn't do this. Oh, they'll think it's whack. They'll think I'm lame. I do not care. Like, and I think that's what helps me with that anxiety is that not caring and doing it anyway. Right? Do you think it's the same for you, Jeff? Because YouTube is it's going to millions of people.
Yeah.
And, so like, what's your journey on that in terms of like, being a YouTuber, you produce content like one a day. In fact, maybe 3 a day. Like, so like in reality, like, what is it like for you? How did you get to that place of comfort where it's like, I'm not, how did you deal with anxiety when it came to YouTube?
I don't think my anxiety came from posting content. I think the anxiety came from the metrics. So how many views are you getting? How many subscribers are you getting? Because I can post 3 times a day. I can post 5 times a day if I really wanted to.
Yeah.
If no views will come, I'm gonna be sad as hell. But that's something that I'm getting over. I don't even look at analytics as much anymore. I'm trying to get to a point where I don't look at it at all.
Yeah.
But it is important. But at the same time, it's just like,
I think when it comes to that, what I think helps is having a strategy.
yeah,
And when you have a strategy, then you can look at the metrics, but seeing, is it working, right?
Yeah.
So if you're like just doing free content, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna upload this, I'm gonna upload that, then metrics doesn't really matter because you're not projecting any growth.
Yeah.
But when you're saying, okay, I'm going to do this kind of content 3 times a week, I want to see if I'm reaching more people, like, more targeted content.
Yeah.
Then metrics matters because you're trying to see, is it worth it? Should I keep going, or should I pivot? Right? That's when you look at the metrics, you look at the comments, you see what else are people asking about, and then YouTube in the back end shows you like similar videos that your audience is watching, right? Yep. So then you can see, oh, what else do they like? Should I do? Because I remember at some point I did the belly wrapping thing to reduce belly fat, right? And one thing they were showing on the other side was foot pills. Like, so for some reason, everyone wanted nice and sexy feet. So what did I do? I ordered foot pills and then I started using it and I recorded it and showing like the before and after. And those videos would do well. But when I say, oh, you know what, let me do a kitchen gadget, then that video gets like 100 views while the others are getting 3 million views. You know what I mean? So it's like you have to, so looking at your metrics helps when you have like a plan and you're trying to see, okay, what next? But if you're just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to record this. Oh, I'm just going to, then it doesn't really matter because you're just blowing it in different directions. There's no like real path. You know what I mean?
And something that's okay too when you're trying to figure out what you want to do. Because sometimes you don't even know what you want to post content about. You just want to, I want to post.
Exactly. But you have to, you stick to your niche, right?
Yeah.
Which is like, for me, skincare, body care, like, personal growth. But then I would not, if I see someone, but when I went to go do kitchen, my followers were like, this ain't for me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're right. You have to like stick to your niche and just keep going. But then your niche can also be broad. So like
have more than one.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want to do like one thing I like that you're doing is that yours is really more about like started off with like finance, crypto, talking about crypto. And then you started finding ways to do finance stuff within lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like, oh, how to save 500 500 a month or whatever. I'm just giving an example. But like, oh, you started doing like, let's speak to what was it, a business owner or like a financial advisor, interviewing a financial advisor. That's not necessarily crypto, but like that's still in that realm of people who like crypto would also want to know more about finance stuff as well. So it's like sticking to your niche, but creating a lifestyle out of that niche is what really matters on YouTube.
Yeah.
So as content creators, how do you guys deal with like the comments? Because I mean, social media has created a world where everybody is entitled to an opinion, and everybody shares an opinion. So I mean, there are times where we hear about the celebrities getting like really terrible reviews. How does that even affect? Because I mean, I for one would. I'll listen to it. It would affect my motivation, right? It would bring that. It can bring down your morale.
Definitely.
So how do you guys overcome? How do you guys tackle that?
I think the easy answer is to say block out the noise, but that's not really the truth. Like, you're gonna see the comments.
You see,
it's gonna affect you some way, in my opinion.
Funny enough, it doesn't affect me.
Really?
I'm telling you. I have that video, my belly video. That's the video that got like
you
four.
Say your mom is
the belly video got like 4 million views, right? And I remember like reading the comments and people are like, oh, you're fat, go to the gym, like you're lazy, like cursing me out. And in my mind, I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm sure my belly's still flatter than yours. Like, I guess when I read those comments, I don't really read it hard. Like, I don't know them. They're in my head, I'm probably like, you're probably some fat person laying down.
You'll never know.
Because because honestly, if YouTube is showing you that video, sir, maybe
That means
you
you
need
need
it
it.
to watch.
Decided that this was a good video for
You
you.
need it, right?
Right?
Uh-huh.
So in my mind, I just always I like you said, I shut down the noise. Like I don't even care like what other people think, because in my mind, I got 4 million views.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. I'm good.
Yeah.
And if my belly get big again, I'll wrap it again.
Wrap it again.
And I will record it again.
And show it again.
So like that's just, to me, I think I try not to think too much about like what other people say, what other people think, because I think those kind of things are what brings anxiety, like I said previously. So in my head, I think I've just learned to just not care about what other people. If my mom gave me feedback, or my sisters gave me feedback, or my friends, then I'll be like, okay, that's a little closer. You know me. But like if someone I don't know, you don't know me, you don't know my lifestyle, and then you want to comment on like me, I'm just like, yeah, it's just a troll. Oh, it's just someone mean. And I guess one thing I would always tell people is that if you're going into YouTube or Instagram, you're making your pages public. You have to understand that there are mean people out there.
A lot of
right? There are a lot of mean people. You see celebrities getting bullied all the time. They lose their minds. So if I'm going to show myself in a public whatever, like, I would never let that come to me. You know what I mean? So I think that's just it. It's just like I just don't care. And I don't let it bother me. Maybe that's why I don't really get anxiety when it comes to YouTube. And honestly, I'm telling you, I record and I just upload. So I have videos where I look messy AF. My mom, let me tell you the funniest thing. So, of course, when you start getting paid when you get to like 1,000, right? So I got to 1,000, my mom's my biggest fan. So she's like, oh yeah, we're on 1,000. Then I remember when I got to 10,000, my mom was like, wow, you have 10,000? And then she's like, maybe now you should start wearing makeup. Start, because she's watching YouTube a lot more now because of me.
Yeah.
She's like, maybe you should start wearing makeup. Maybe you should, because I used to literally be
show
bored.
so.
I used to literally be bored in my apartment. And I'm like, you know what? Record. I didn't even think, oh, let me go get my hair did. Let me do this. Because you go on YouTube and you see a lot of people extremely made up. Yeah. But I was just like, nah, I want it to be, it's also, I guess, one thing I wanted from my brand then was like, I just wanted authentic me. Like, I'm doing things on skincare, on body, on like, why do I need makeup to show like I'm doing a belly wrap? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just me. Like, I think you're also like that. You're like, okay, let's take it to you. Like, you live in Nigeria. Nigerians are super made up. Like, everybody does their brows. And what do they call it? Bra tattoo. I don't know what it's called. What is it called? Microblading.
Microblading.
Oh my God, I sound like such a illiterate.
It's just a bra tattoo. Your Nigerian accent just came out right now.
Microblading. I know, right? Microblading, the weaves, Brazilian and Cambodian hair, and they're very into the look, body surgeries, whatever. Like, and you are very more like me, like your authentic self, which I love. I think that's why one of the reasons why we get along together. And like, how does that, do you get pressured from that? Is there an anxiety attached to that? Like, you living in Nigeria surrounded by that, do you feel the pressure, and is there anxiety there?
I mean, obviously, like, there are certain times where you want, if I'm being honest,
Mike, closer.
If I'm being honest, there are certain times where you want to keep up with the Joneses, but then you realize how much effort and time and money it takes to actually keep up with the Joneses. And plus, me, I think I'm a fine babe, and I don't need all those makeup and all that. My natural hair has always worked perfectly fine for me. I'm always like, before I locked my hair, I was in braids. I wore braids most of the time before I decided to lock my hair. And ever since I locked it, I haven't gone back. So I think I've been confident enough to be able to handle the Nigerian tension, right? But obviously there are certain times where you doubt, like I'll doubt myself and be like, okay, do I really want to go there because I don't think I'm properly dressed, or I don't even want to spend money? Because now when you think about how much a woman, like, it costs for a woman to look good in Nigeria, and you see how much, even to go for a wedding, you could spend close to 500K, by sewing.
I see our weddings on TikTok sometimes.
It's ridiculous,
Yeah.
and when you look at all that for a one-time event for someone's wedding that you probably don't know, or you're probably a plus one. When you calculate it, you sit down at home.
That thing is really real. Like, I remember going to Nigeria and like just seen like your sister, she's a fashionista, and like she'll like make every dress, like every time she's going to a wedding, new outfit.
Yep.
And I remember just being like, damn, yo, this is overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, thank God I don't gotta do this every
day.
weekend.
Yeah,
Like, it's just
literally
too much.
And there's literally a wedding almost every weekend in Lagos.
Yeah.
If not every
And
week.
I give kudos to the girls who do it because they do look really beautiful and they let the culture stand out, like, you know, with the outfits and everything. But it's just not a me thing. Like, I'll do it when I have to, but it can't be like an every weekend thing.
Yeah.
But but even though like you're authentically yourself, you still take care of yourself, which is good. You know what I mean? So that's one thing I like about that. But then in Nigeria, the women are just, you know, Nigerian women are beautiful, like super beautiful. So I can but you didn't even answer about the anxiety. Do you think sometimes like when you go out, like, you know, seeing everybody all made up, all boom boom bow pow, you know, do you feel some form of anxiety with it? Because there's a difference when you see everybody else super made up, they've gone to beauty by whoever to get their makeup done, and you just put your small eyeshadow, because that's how I am. I'm like I'm gonna just do a little some my lip gloss be popping, that's cool. But like, so and you don't really do makeup by, so what's your take on that anxiety?
Yes, and because
You have no anxiety?
yeah, when it comes to going, like, I see it as superficial because everybody wants to look good, and I think I look good. I mean, I've always been comfortable in my skin. Typically, I'm usually the darkest in the room.
You know, we like light skin girls.
I'll be dark. I'm usually the darkest, so that alone makes me stand out. So what else can I do again to be confident? Everybody's light. Everybody's wearing bone straight hair or their curly wigs. Everybody has their lashes out like that. You know, so when you see everybody wearing the same thing and you now see one person stand out again, I don't think that has really given me the anxiety per se. You know, so no, not really. I haven't been anxious when it comes to dealing with Nigerian women.
Okay, cool.
I've just learned to, you know, because, you know, when you walk into the room, it's very difficult to be friends with Nigerians.
Really?
So my own anxiety typically comes from their own reaction, like other people's reaction, right? In terms of, okay, is this person being honest or is this person being real? Because, you know, we were having a conversation about friends, right? And you were talking about one of your other friends who mentioned that, you know, you have to create like a Chinese wall between some of your friends, right? And understanding people. So that's you building different while you're being real with your friends, you're building your personalities with each of them, because it's kind of like different circles and they have different likes and everything.
Oh no, my friends are getting one of me.
Yeah. So no, but that's
one
what
of
it
me.
is.
But
so,
then they all different. I just don't want this one and this one don't get along.
Exactly.
But I get along with everybody.
So that's what it is, right? You find people do that, but like, I don't know how to create that multiple personality to be different types of friends to different people.
Gotcha.
So what you see literally is what you get, you know. But then my own anxiety comes from, are people being like true to me or reciprocating, right? Because, I mean, we're talking about it yesterday where we're saying that there's a difference between being kind and being nice. You know, and a lot of people don't even reciprocate that, and a lot of people take advantage of that. So yeah,
let's go deeper into that. When you say they don't reciprocate that, what do you mean?
I mean, so when you're nice, there's hardly any boundaries. You're a lot more accommodating. Like, I just let a lot of things slide. You know, I would just be like, okay, that's just the person, and then I'll move on. Or instead of me to just have that conversation, I'll just move on, and you won't know I've left you. So when you reach out to me, I can just decide to respond or not respond, right? I don't say anything. I just leave you there and in that corner, and I move on with my life.
Yeah. So what's being kind?
You set boundaries, you have that conversation, and you're honest. It means that you're like willing to grow and invest in that relationship for me. So like, if you ask me for something, I can choose to respond accordingly, or I can just, if I was nice, I can give it to you when I don't need to, and you're taking advantage of it.
Do you think you're kind or nice?
I used to be nice. I'm nice. I'm transitioning to being kind.
I like that. What about you?
Moyo is kind. Moyo is kind with a gravel.
Ew, what does that mean?
It means that tough love.
I
If
can
you
see
come
that.
for her, she will come for you,
I
and
can
she
see
will
that.
finish you and burn you to the ground.
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that sounds harsh.
No, that's why I said tough
I think
love.
I'm nicer than
tough
that.
love. Tough love.
I definitely think I'm kind versus nice, and I wouldn't say I'm not nice. I am nice, but then
You're
maybe
kind.
I'm kind, and I think it's just like everybody else. Nobody wants to get used, and then also nobody wants to feel abused, right? So in my mind, I'm just like, I could be nice to you, but the moment you show me another side, I'm like, all right. Reciprocity of energy, baby. Remember that. You know, it's so crazy. So I remember the year I actually started in my mind thinking about reciprocity of energy. Someone did something to me, whatever. Like usually when people do things that hurt, right? I'll be angry, like furious, pissed, you know, probably cut them off, never talk to them again, like just angry. But then I realized reciprocity of energy. And I think what that did was it allowed me to stop getting mad and stop getting angry.
Why the energy be mad?
And it allowed me to start like, oh, okay, I see the way you move. Oh, I'm gonna move the exact same way to you. And you can't tell me nothing. So and then I started doing it. Now it's an unconscious behavior. And now I'm trying to unlearn it. So no, but it's because I've had friends complain about it. But in all reality, let me give you an example. My friends are gonna laugh when they hear this part. But so there was this year, my friends, it was my birthday. And I had invited my friends over. No, I said, oh, you know, this was years ago. Dinner for my birthday. You know, they're all like, yes. Everybody said they're coming. And the day of my birthday, I remember my boyfriend at the time was like, oh, do you want it? I'm like, no, I'm hanging with my friends. You know, I'm here feeling cool. I got my friends, and these are my day one friends, like college friends. And so then on my way home from work, you know, going to get ready, so I could wear my beautiful birthday dress, they all started canceling. Oh, I can't make it. It was my mom's birthday, and, you know, I'm hanging with my mom. My mom's birthday was yesterday. I'm hanging with my mom, something like that. Oh, my kids. You know how, you know, people with kids will use their kids as every excuse. Somebody else said something else. So that day, I think it was only one person that was like, oh, okay, I'm down. I was like, yeah, don't worry. Because then I had to go all the way to where the dinner was. So I was just like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. I'll just cancel it. But thank God the boyfriend I had at that time was super, super sweet. Like, he ended up trying to make it like a beautiful day eventually. But I remember like just being so hurt by it. Like, when I tell you I was hurt, I was angry because I was like, let me tell you what my anger was. Because all of them that had birthdays before me,
You was there.
I would go and I would
there.
bring a gift.
Ooh.
So like, you know, it was one girl's birthday.
She
I brought
actually
her
goes all out for your birthday.
when it's my friend, when you're my friend and I love you, I think my love language for love is gifting, even though I hate the fact that it is, because then I'm like, I don't know, that's you know, but I used to think it was like act of service.
Am I getting a gift this year?
I do
You
not
never know.
The love listen, my
When
birthday,
is your birthday?
my birthday comes before yours.
When is your birthday?
So let's see, homie.
October 30th.
Oh.
My birthday comes before his, so let's see how you treat me, and we gonna reciprocate the energy. Nah, but what pissed me off was not just the fact that they didn't even like send flowers, the gift, nothing. Like
Did they call you
did
on your
not-
birthday?
I mean, everyone texts and calls, but that's fine. But my point is that like that day, I was so pissed at them because it was almost like even the next day, there was no like real apology. Like, oh, let's make it up. Can we do it tomorrow? Oh, let's try to do this, or let's make it up tomorrow. It was almost like, well, I didn't come. That's the way I saw it, right? So I remember that time I thought to myself, I was like, should I be mad? This was when I had learned that reciprocity of energy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep it fucking cool. I'm going to keep it cool. But on your birthday, I'm going to decide if I want to go or not. And it's crazy because it became like second nature, right? So like as their birthdays will come, if I was in the if someone else invited me to another party, I'm gonna go for that party, not their party. And I wouldn't even I didn't even feel any kind of way when I wouldn't send them a text message, hey, sorry, I can't make it. Because in my mind, I'm like, you don't even have the balls to call me to be angry because you did the same thing for my birthday. That's the power of reciprocity of energy, is that you cannot come back to me and tell me I'm wrong when you did the same thing and you didn't think it was wrong. So you see, it's a very negative thing to have. I'm trying to unlearn it. But at that moment, I was all in with reciprocity of energy, because in my head I wasn't angry. I wasn't holding this grudge and pissed off and not I would hang out with them. Like we would hang out, like, you know. But when it came to birthdays, I didn't feel the need to buy anything, do anything. I didn't care. So there was this, so it was two of my friends, they're born in December. They had a birthday party. They had invited me to the birthday party. And I'll never forget, as soon as I was getting ready to go, one of my other guy friends invited me to another party. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to this birthday party because this is lit. And I was on Instagram posting, like, I'm lit. I'm like, oh, what up? So my friend texted me. In fact, they even did like a intervention. Yo, I was like, damn, that shit must have hurt. But like they did an intervention, but at that moment I didn't feel bad. Like I was like, well, you did the same thing to me, right? So why should I feel bad? And then when we did the intervention, I think it was more of like, okay, all right, you got it. You at least I'm glad you understand where I came from, right? So I let that go, whatever. No. Actually, before the intervention, what broke the camel's back? So my friend got trauma. I got trauma from them not making it to my birthday. Yeah. Ever since that day, I don't even think they know this. I've never done a birthday party. Ever. Oh, wow. I've never invited people to come party with me. All my birthdays, people just show up. And I don't do anything. Like, it's like, oh, they come. Like, you guys come for my come to my house, like, to wish me happy birthday. And you're like, come on, Mom, let's do dinner. And then we end up dressing up and going to dinner. Yeah. But I never plan anything for my birthday. I either travel, go away, whoever. Even my last birthday, like, my friend was like, oh, I'll come with you. You know, like... But I just go, if you can choose to come, but I'm not inviting. You know what I mean? Because it was trauma. Yeah. You know, and it's not a nice thing to have, but it did traumatize me, right? Reality. And then the funniest part was after we had the conversation, I think, no, we didn't have the conversation then. It was my birthday. So me and my friend were born in August, like same time. So they had planned to do take us to the spa because, you know, they know I love the spa. I used to go like every week. But then they invited, they're like, oh, they planned this whole spa thing. But what they did was they told him, oh, we're celebrating Mo. And they told me we're celebrating him. And he's part of the group. Okay. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't even think they know this part. But I woke up that morning. I was in Brooklyn, and I was like, do I feel like driving all the way there to go to the spa? No, I'm just going to go to the spa in Brooklyn. I literally didn't show up, and they had champagne, cake, and I felt bad. But then I couldn't show that I felt bad, but I felt really, really bad because I was like, damn. But that was because I couldn't control this reciprocity thing anymore because it became second nature. You
didn't even realize you had it.
Yeah. So then they did the intervention and then we all spoke. Then I told them why I was angry and the trauma. And apparently my trauma also affected my friend whose birthday was in December because she was like, now she's always so nervous to invite people and knowing if people show up. So look at how in that circle we just created trauma because we didn't communicate, right? I should have told them I'm mad because you guys didn't show up for my birthday and whatever. They should be, you know, she didn't say anything to me either until we had that intervention. But one thing I would say is that I love my friends because the following birthday, I remember they were like, oh, Mo, are you doing anything? Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything? And I was like, no. And they're like, come on, let's do dinner. Let's do brunch. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do just three of us because, you know, just three of us would do the brunch. That's safe. And, you know, because I know you'll come and I know you'll come. So let's do that. Like, let's do that. And then they're like, why don't you extend it to the group? I'm like, what if they don't want to come? I don't want any pressure, you know. And then I extended it to the group and they're like, they'll come. And I'm like, what if they don't show up? Like, I had serious anxiety from it. I didn't even realize how bad the anxiety was. So on the day of, I even told the guest, so maybe it was 10 of us. I said, 8 to 10. It might be 6. I was so nervous about them not showing up. But then when we got there, they were like every single person showed up just because they heard my pain and they were all like, no, we're going to make your next birthday special. And honestly, I felt above, like just so overwhelmed by the love, you know? So, and then what I learned from that situation was that communication is really one of the biggest things that help you to not get traumatized. Because if we had spoken about it, maybe they would have really explained to me why they couldn't come and then the next time kind of show up for me versus me keeping it to myself and being like, oh, I'm gonna show you. Oh, I ain't coming to your birthday ever. You know what I mean? and then causing trauma for somebody else. And that hurt when I found out like she was hurting from what I did, and she was hurt that I was hurt. So it was just like a whole kumbaya moment we had during that thing. But I love my friends. But that's just one story of like how anxiety really almost messed up my friendships, right? But yeah, I don't even know why we got into this topic, but basically that.
Oh, deep.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I'm glad. But like I said, I'm trying to reverse, unlearn that reciprocity of energy. But it's sweet though. I ain't gonna lie. That shit feel good. Like you don't understand because it makes you not have to do things you don't want to do. Because a lot of times I do things because like if it's my friend's birthday, maybe I'm on my couch, I'm relaxing, I don't feel like getting up. But when I'm thinking reciprocity of energy, I'm like, I ain't getting up. And I'm gonna feel great about it and not feel guilty. You see what I'm saying? So there's like a pro to it. There's that like, don't care. But when you don't have it, then you're like, oh, I gotta go to this birthday, I gotta go get ready, So yeah. So
I mean, it helps with. I think it helps with managing people, and it's something that like. So it's something you're good at, and it's something I'm not good at because I'm like, oh, kumbaya, everybody, one piece, one world, that kind of thing, and that's where boundaries come in play, especially like in the sense of when you were asking what the difference is between nice and being kind, right? So it helps you manage people in general and manage the crowd, like the people you surround yourself with, right? Because once they understand the kind of person you are, it's easier for you to like decide if you want to go that extra length or not.
That's facts.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a thin line between self-doubt and anxiety?
Yeah.
What do you thin line?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Or does one lead to the other? Or like what's your thought on self-doubt? The reason I ask that is because with self-doubt, like I've noticed that a lot of people don't propel in life because of self-doubt. I've had things that in my mind, I'm like, damn, like maybe like I thought, I want to do this business, right? But then I'm like, nah, who am I to do it? Like, for example, let's say you wanted to own a bag business, right? But it's not like you carry the most exclusive bags or like people are like, oh, wow, what bag is that? That's not you, but you have an eye for it. You love it. Like, that's just like, I want to own a bag company, right? I want to start making bags. So sometimes self-doubt could come in because you're like, damn, like, who am I to...
What if...
Who am I? Not even the what if, but more like, who am I to even want to do the bag? So you're not even thinking, oh, what are others? Like, it's more of like, I guess that's when like, would people even buy it? Would people like it? Like, and then you end up stopping yourself from doing it. But then anxiety will be more of, you're like, oh, what would this person think? Do they, who am I? Like, would they buy from me? Because who am I to want to own bags? And then it's bringing that anxiety of other people, right? Versus, maybe that's the difference, right? Anxiety is the thought of other people in that thing versus self-doubt, which is you just slamming yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, right? I actually think it's like more of like a double-edged sword because like self-doubt leads to anxiety, kind of, because the minute you start questioning yourself and the situation, you start getting anxious about everything else because, like you said, like one act can cause a ripple effect. If you decide to go ahead and start with your bag business, you can... That's you just going for it, but then self-doubt will make you not go for it, and obviously if you're not as determined in terms of like achieving the capital and everything, that affects that. I mean, that's how I look at it.
Yeah,
it's really overthinking.
Yeah.
It all comes down to overthinking.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
That's all. It all
Just
comes down
talk and
to.
do it.
And I would
Just
say that
do it
self-doubt,
like Nike.
and I would say that self-doubt has, if I'm being honest, self-doubt has actually made me miss opportunities. Yeah,
100%.
because I mean, I realize, like, I don't realize certain things till I get that assurance from other people, like telling me, oh yeah, you're good at this, and I'm like, really? I thought I sucked at it. Like,
100%.
I thought I like there's so much I could do better in it. I thought I sucked, but clearly
That is good.
Yeah, it's funny because my sister Dilmy, like, I noticed that she pours love into me. And I think that's maybe one reason why I talk to her a lot. Like, if I tell her I want to start this, she'll be like, you're great at it, you're this. She'll start giving me, like, pumping my spirit, where I'm like, I could do this. I could do it. you know what? I was made for this.
Made for this shit.
Yo, she will pour love. And I think from learning from her, then I started doing it to friends. I do it to you all the time. When Dupe tells me, oh, I'm like, girl, look at you.
But then how about the
Look
other
at
times
you.
where I now shoots my shots and I gaslight myself and you're like, girl, you need to come back down from your high horse.
Yeah, no, that's rare. But like something else Dupe does that is amazing, and I give her credit for. I think me and her mom saw it in full effect last year. Is you know how to manifest, or well, how to think big for yourself. And I think I used to allow self-doubt ruin that for me. Like Dupe will be like, Dupe can wake up this morning and be like, I'm going to be a chief operation officer. I'm like, girl, you're just a manager, relax. Like, right? Like, I'm like, from manager, do VP, do director before you jump.
It's a journey to this.
There's a journey to this. And you just wake up in the morning and think you should be a CEO. Like, so I would like say that to her. Like, me and her mom would be like, girl, what you doing? What you think? Come on. And then next thing you know, she got the job. And we were like, yo, that shut me up. Yo,
That shows you not listening to nobody else.
I'm telling you. And I think it's a power. It's almost like manifesting without even knowing she's manifesting.
Yeah.
Because she's saying it out
She's
loud.
saying it out. That shit is powerful.
And you know, one thing about manifesting is ask, believe, receive. Right? You ask for what you want. I want to be a COO. I want to be a chief operating officer. Then you believe God is going to put you in that place. That's when you start applying, because you feel like, nah, God got this. And you're waiting to receive it. That receiving part is the hardest part for most people. Because for you to be able to receive it, you have to almost believe it's yours.
Yeah.
And
gotta
a
be
lot of
yours.
times, that's where self-doubt comes in, where you're like, am I even experienced? Can I run a business? Can I have 20, 100 people walking under me? Would I be able to manage this? Next thing you know, you've tucked yourself down back to manager.
Yeah.
But Dupe be like, I got this. And she walks with her chest high.
Yeah.
And I remember just telling her, yo, relax. Who do you think you are? When she got it, yo, I was like, you know what? I need to start practicing this. I need to start manifesting.
Yeah.
But it allowed me to really see how manifestation works, you know? Because a lot of times we ask, we believe, like, oh, yes, God. Most times people are stuck in that ask phase. God, please, God, please, God, please. But you don't believe that God got it. That's why you're still begging for it.
And even in that moment of just asking for it, you got to take action to do so. I'm sure you didn't just get that job just by please.
God, I want it.
No.
I'm sure you took action.
Yeah, so for me, like manifesting that during that time, I learned a lot. It really worked for me because I learned a lot about myself professionally. It knew like getting it was my first leadership position. I learned what I could do. I learned more about my strengths and weaknesses. It even made me take more riskier decisions because
This whole, like, from that time up until now, my whole journey was like a major self-discovery. It goes back to what you were saying earlier on about solitude, right? And spending time with yourself, understanding yourself, and you realize that for you to be able to actually spend quality time with yourself, you actually have to be honest about your reality and your situation in life,
100%.
right? Once you're honest about it, like, it's a growth phase. I was telling you, growth is also very painful, right?
It's painful.
I tell you all the time, Muyo, every time we talk, I'm like, damn, this is one of the hardest part of my life, but it's very necessary for you to grow, and to go through that journey, because there are some things that you learn that cannot be taken away from you, right?
Yeah, and I've seen the growth. Like Dupe is more self-aware now. Like she's more self-aware. She knows when she's become
I can catch myself.
She's become like more whole with herself, which is a great part of growing, I guess. Yeah. Cool. What about you? What's your thing on manifest? Are you a Christian? I don't even know.
I'm in between.
You're in between.
I'm in between right now.
What does that mean?
I've been reading into becoming a Muslim.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Who's Chris?
I know. No, it's Christmas. We've been through that. So my family is Muslim. Like, my parents are Muslim. My grandparents are Muslim on both sides. Like, I mean, both my parents are Alaji and Alaja. Like, they've gone to Mecca and done all that.
Oh,
So
wow.
we celebrate Salah. I mean, my mom sent ram meats from Lagos. Like, we're going to try right after this.
Yeah.
You know,
I
she
forgot
sends
about
ram
that.
meats, from
Thanks,
Lagos and
Auntie.
everything. So, but again, I went to Christian schools growing up. So if we're talking about religion, right, I personally see similarities between Christianity and Islam, right? And when I'm having this conversation with people, I tell people that it's more of their faith and the kind of relationship that you want to have with God. Because if you look at like religion today and what is being preached, what is being taught, you can't relate to a lot of things that are being said in the Bible, because civilization back then is different from civilization now.
Yeah.
So it's how you want to interpret what you're reading from the holy book, either the Quran or the Bible. So I don't know. That's my advice. I want you to think about it like that.
I'm still finding my way. I'm still finding my way.
Yeah, I always say I grew up Muskris because I spent my summers in her house doing Islam stuff, Muslim stuff, and then Christmas in my house doing Christian stuff. But as I got older and started really picking up on faith, reading the Bible, then I started to understand. I think one of the biggest things, I was having this conversation with Dukbe, and I said that one thing that I was like, when you go to church, right, they're just preaching and preaching and preaching. They're telling you what the Bible says, but you don't really read the Bible, besides when they say, open chapter 65 of Matthew, blah, blah.
You don't even really open it because they show it on the screen.
Yeah, one time I had some downtime, and I was like, you know what? Why do people believe in Jesus? Like, what made him so special, right? And I went back and I went to read like the New Testament, and I was like, I'm going to read this and really understand, where did the faith come from? And when I read it, that's actually where manifestation, actually I saw it in the Bible. Like, the ask, believe, and receive manifestation actually comes from the New Testament. And the more I read it, the more I was just like, wow, like, like it strengthened my faith, my belief. And that's how I really got like back into Christianity. I mean, I'm a JP. I'm a Jerusalem pilgrim. I've been to Jerusalem. I've done the walk of Jesus. I did the whole thing. I was baptized in the same place Jesus was baptized. So, my
How was that experience?
It was amazing. I went with my family for my mom's 60th. And honestly, just going to those churches, like, it's like you read the Bible, right? Growing up, you go to all these Bible schools and Bible stuff. Remember, we used to go to like Christian summer camps.
We used to do everything.
But yeah, like, they tell you so much, you read so much, like where Jesus was born. But when you see it, it's like a whole different glorifying moment, like where you're just like, wow, like it's crazy. And I think that's what traveling does to people, right? When you go to different countries, when you explore different countries, it gives you a sense of comfort with that country, right?
Yeah.
Versus when you just read it online or you see TikToks about it, right?
Completely
That's why people go to Bali and they're like, oh my God, I'm moving to Bali. Because there's like a spiritual strengthening from just visiting and just exploring and just seeing what the soul of the country, right? That's how it was for me on that trip, was just like experiencing the soul of Jerusalem. And they took us everywhere. Like, one of my biggest questions was like, how do they do this on a donkey? Because them places were far. but like it was an amazing experience. And then doing it with family was also great.
That's amazing. That's
yeah.
really good.
Yeah, it was dope. I'm a JP. I like to make sure everybody understands that.
Power to the people.
But that to me, just reading the New Testament just made me realize manifestation is not just someone just came up with it. It's actually a real thing. It's deep. It's spiritual. It's actually, it's not just energy. It's spiritual. It's deeper than we think. But the moment you can the moment you can, Oprah says it all the time. The moment you can capture, learn, understand how to ask, believe, and receive, life will be 360.
So much easier.
180. Amazing.
I like
Yeah.
So yeah, what's your thought? Sorry. That was where we were.
Thought on
I was like, I asked you, I said, are you a Christian? You said you're in between. And I said, what's your thought on manifestation?
Oh, it's 100% real. I think sometimes though, you need to be able to see something in order to believe if it's true. So let's say, for example, you want to be wealthy, you want a certain car, whatever it is. You need to see it with your own eyes.
Yeah.
So I know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be an angel investor. I wanted to be in venture capital. I need to see what they operate, how they operate. So I had to go. That's why I went to Tulsa. I had to go and actually see what they were doing. And seeing companies be built up from the ground up, it's like, yo, this is crazy. And it's doable. It's completely doable. If you don't see it, you're never going to know it's true.
You know what I've been seeing of recent?
What?
So in my building, there's this tall building next to me that has this huge sign on it. And every time I sit here, I just manifest my name on it. And I'm like, yo, what would he be like? I think I asked you one time.
What would he be like
we
to
was,
have
we
your
was
name
outside,
on the building?
and I was like, can you imagine owning this building? Like your name is on it.
Yeah.
Like I kept saying, I'm like, what kind of business would I be doing to own this building?
Is it that one right there?
Yep. I'm telling you, I do it all the time.
You gotta walk in that motherfucker too one day.
I'm telling you.
You gotta walk in your seat like, yo, what's in here?
And then it started taking me back to like JP Morgan, you know, like imagine the JP Morgan himself. Like he walking around, he's like, that's my name. That's my name. It's and I'm sure he thought about it one day and said, you know what, I'm gonna own this. Even when you watch these movies, these biopic movies, a lot of times these guys be like, you know what, I want to be, gold. What was the movie we watched recently?
Is it Gold Packs or Gold Blocks?
Gold Bricks on Netflix.
Yeah.
Amazing movie. It was
It's
so
a
good.
French movie,
But it's great. Go watch it on Netflix. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the guy, you know, there's a bigger company that like ran everything, and he was like, one day I'm going to own my own, and it just the whole thing.
I mean, how he started it was illegal.
Yeah. But the point is, at the end, he manifested it. If you
It
think
and
about
made
it,
happen.
he said he was going to do it, and he did it, and
He took
boom.
over the whole small town.
So
His name was
it's
on
a
the
great
billboard
movie.
at
It's a
the
great
end of the
movie,
day.
but the manifestation
I like
is that's an example of it, right?
When you want to do
So-
something big though, you gotta have a crazy idea.
Yeah.
It all starts with a crazy idea. People have to honestly doubt you sometimes because it's gonna fuel you. You say, I wanted this big building. You tell your friends, they're like, big building. Yeah, sure.
Even sometimes you get self-doubt. You
get
get
self-doubt.
self-doubt from your friends.
But all of that comes from crazy ideas. You look at Facebook, you look at Instagram, Twitter, you look
Elon
at
Musk.
any unicorns.
I mean, look at
They
Threads.
all came from that.
And you know, something else that really like makes me like I love looking at is on Instagram when you see all these like, you know, these girls that, you know, they're not your ideal models, but then they're killing it in the fashion game, and their pages are doing like 300K followers, and you know, you're looking at their content and you're just like, wow, like if I were her, I would have been like anxious or have anxiety to do it, but she's doing it with like full confidence. Like when I watch Instagram reels like that, it drives me. Like I get so driven from watching people like that, like someone who's not even a chef but she's cooking and like she's doing what she could do, but she's consistent with it,
about
you know.
it.
And then when I watch them do it, I'm like, they probably is the confidence. Confidence is what sells. Confidence kills anxiety.
And consistency. You said it.
Consistent. Well, but anxiety is not consistency.
I mean, by the
Anxiety
time you're
is
consistent, you get comfortable in it.
I could see that. I guess the confidence comes from doing it often, right?
Yeah.
Consistency breeds success. That yes, but I think confidence gets rid of anxiety because once you become confident in yourself, then ain't nobody telling you nothing.
No.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So once you're able to be, I think that's actually the secret sauce to it.
Having confidence.
Confidence.
The confidence. Once you have the confidence,
You can get anything you want with confidence.
you kill anxiety, right?
Yeah.
And then if you want to be successful, you got to stay consistent,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. Note to self, people. That's definitely something everyone should be aware of. So before we
Stay
wrap up
confident
quickly,
and
what are
consistent.
name one thing? How do you build confidence? How do like if we're saying confidence kills anxiety? What do you think? How do you build confidence? You're a confident person. You're a confident person. So what is the thing that like drives confidence?
To be honest, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, yeah.
I'm
I
that.
actually look at myself in the mirror.
And
And I talk to myself, give myself a pep talk. And while I still give myself a
that's
pep
not an easy thing to do to gain confidence, because sometimes when you look into the mirror, you're looking at you're your own worst critic. You're like, damn, I need to lose weight. Damn, I need to do this.
I mean,
Damn,
I
need
lost
to do
70
that.
pounds in
I'm
one
not,
year.
I'm not talking about you
That's
per
major.
se. I'm not talking about you per se.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like in general, like looking in the mirror is really a
It's hard.
harder way
Yeah.
to build confidence, because you're the only one who sees a lot of your flaws.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think builds, like what advice can we give to people who want to build confidence but don't know where to start or how to go about doing that?
For me, I would say do one thing consistently for a long period of time. Because let's say, for example,
Get good at something.
Get so good that you just feel like, yo, they can't even fuck with me with this.
Like no one can tell me otherwise.
They can't tell me.
You know, I have that mindset at work. Even like everybody knows me at work. Once I know something and I'm confident on that thing, and you hear doing well, I think I just keep quiet. As soon as you're done, I'm like, you're wrong. And I say with my whole chest.
Yeah.
So you're right. And it's the confidence. It's because I know I'm right. Yeah. That's what gives me the confidence to be able to say, no, you're wrong, sir.
Yeah.
You're right. I like that. Like learn, be good at what you want to become.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be good at what you want to become, where consistency comes in. So
I would also say not to be too hard on yourself, because really and truly you're your own worst critic, right?
Yeah.
And once you realize that everybody is just paddling or going through this thing called life the same way you are,
life be life for
everybody.
And nobody is perfect, then you're good. I mean, obviously you're good, but you want to get higher, but you're good. So once I realized the person next to me is going through the same thing, or it's not as perfect as I am. I mean, you may be more successful or you may be doing a lot better, but you did not just wake up one morning and become successful. You had to have passed through that journey, right?
You gotta have failures.
Yeah. So once you're not too hard on yourself, and for me, the minute I started being kind to myself and not to be overly critical about myself, it kind of shifted my mindset a little.
I love what you said, because it kind of brings it to the what I'm getting from it anyway is that everybody in the world is going through stuff.
Yeah.
I almost cursed. Is going through stuff. Everybody's life is life for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So instead of you thinking, oh my God, people are thinking about me, people are not thinking about you.
Yeah.
They're going their own lives.
Do what you got to do to be happy.
Yeah.
You can't let anxiety of what other people you think, oh, this person might think I'm bad at this. This person is not even thinking about you.
Everybody's the main
This person
character
is
of
here
their own story.
This person is here trying to figure out how they can live their own life that be lifing, and then you're here thinking about them, and that's facts. Like if anxiety is you thinking about other people, the best way to combat that is really just understanding that people are really just thinking about themselves. Everybody's struggling through life. And that's what I've started to notice, even with like comments that come in. Why this is so relatable is because people really, life be lifing for people. So the moment you get it out of your head that like, oh, people, and just focus on you, doing what you said, which is like staying consistent and being good at and building yourself to be good at something, and understanding that you are in your own world. Like you need to focus on just doing you, like enjoy yourself. You do it, you fail, you keep it, you say, okay, not for me, try again, do something else. Just anxiety would just start to reduce.
Exactly.
I like that. That's amazing.
If you want to be consistent at something, keep the promises you make to yourself.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's a word. I'm enough on that. I'm not talking no more for
all right, guys. So
that's it.
This podcast was this episode was amazing. Drop mic.
As in
this
literally.
episode was amazing. Jeff, thank you so much for joining us and really giving us insight into you, into your thought process, into anxiety and everything else. Doopsy Turvy, you already know this is our thing. We're killing it and loving it. I'm enjoying doing this with you as well. So thanks everyone. Do you want to do a shout out?
Life be life in. Looking forward to episode 5. God willing. The devil is the liar.
Yeah, we've recorded this episode twice and had microphone problems.
3 times.
And even while we're recording this, we've had 2 microphone issues. But look at us here, still recording still going. But honestly, want to give a real shout out to all our followers on Instagram. I mean, we're up to 53 now, probably more because it was 53 yesterday, maybe more. But thank you guys so much. We love you. We see you. We appreciate you. Thanks for engaging with us. People who are leaving comments on our podcast, both on Apple Music and Spotify. We love you. Shout out to Segen Teklu for the
feedback,
for the comment. You're amazing. Thank you. And honestly, we're excited to for all the other episodes to come. So yeah, we're gonna drop this on Tuesday. We drop videos and podcast every Tuesday, and we'll see you.
We're on all channels.
Yes, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye,
y'all.
What was that?
That's that thing you do at the end.